Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to another Start Sit stream.
Yes, sir.
Week 9. Trade deadline. Already gone, come and gone.
Halfway through the season. That's come and gone. The midway point is officially, we're through that.
Yeah, man, already a lot of people in here. What's going on, User Nerd? What's going on, Sideline Star? Marco, you, good to see you.
Yeah, it's happening, everybody. Yeah, you guys know. Questions ahead of tomorrow, ahead of the Sunday slate.
Just as an aside, Nick is going to be dipping probably sometime around or a little bit before 8 o'clock to go watch the Phillies hopefully stay alive in the World Series. So if we continue to go farther past 8 o'clock, I'll continue to stay on, answer questions, but regardless, just a little notice.
And appreciate it. And no early international game tomorrow, so you'll have our undivided attention starting at 7 a.m. Eastern for ahead of the slate. Just as a friendly reminder before we kick things off, more context the better. Given your if it's a straight this guy or this guy start sit, obviously that helps. But just as a friendly reminder, all the context you can provide about whether there's a trade or whether what your situation is much appreciated. We can give you hopefully as a result the best answer that we possibly can without punting it and asking for follow-up questions. So the more context the better.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. I mean, let's start it off. And Marco, you already know, man. You already know. Use a nerd. I would want the Josh Allen, Allen Lazard side of that deal. So if you can ship Tom Brady, Ramondre Stevenson, and Brandon Ayuk off to get them back, I would do that. But if you're on the side of shipping them out, I would keep them.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Ramondre is an RB1, so it's nothing to have an RB1 on one side of the trade, not getting a running back in return. So yeah, I mean, if the Ramondre side needs a running back, then that's fine. I think it ultimately looks fair. It's a bit, obviously Allen versus Brady, big drop off at quarterback. I prefer Ayuk to Allen Lazard actually, just because Lazard's
I do
a little
too.
banged up, but Ramondre is a linchpin in that he's an RB1, so it just depends on the needs of both sides. But the question is it fair? I think it actually does look pretty fair. There's a big drop off from Allen to Brady, but Ramondre really balances that side out.
It does. I just would still rather have Allen and Lazard.
That's fine. But if I'm acquiring Brady, Ramondre, and Ayuk, and I just really need a running back, that could be fine.
Yes.
But yeah.
Just
be aware, in one quarterback, Brady is about as replaceable as it gets right now.
Which is why I really don't like that deal. Because you're going from the best to somebody who's replaceable. But every situation is not equal. Sideline Star.
What's up, Sideline?
I would go Olave, man. In PPR, I would go Olave. I know Jarvis Landry's coming back, but
Landry's back. Not that that doesn't bother me as it pertains to Olave.
No.
I I think
Dion Lewis has the best floor, but Olave, man, I mean, look what he's been doing.
I know. Well, Olave had a floor game last week. McLaurin has been much better with Taylor Heineke back in there. It's been night and day for Terry McLaurin since Heineke was reinserted as the starter after the Wentz injury.
Yeah, it has.
I mean, I would say, man, Deion Jackson, I really want to play. Deion Jackson is a floor play. McLaurin and Olave are a little bit more. They have a little bit more upside, I would say. Probably can't go wrong here, to be completely honest. I don't hate any of these options. In fact, I like all of these options quite a bit. I don't think there's a bad choice to be made here. I personally would go McLaurin. That's just me. Just based off of the past 2 weeks, Terry has sprung back to life with Heineke back in there.
The whole offense has.
Yeah, Gibson is back to being the Washington RB1. And Olave, as it pertains to Olave, Michael Thomas out for the season. His stock is just up. And it's a good matchup at home. I think I just lean on McLaurin right now, who is at least a little bit more proven. I think McLaurin feels like the safe upside play. I don't know. All of these options are good.
Yeah, and I'm just rolling with Olave because I think they don't really have much else outside of him and Kamara, so they're going to keep using him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if we answered the question.
No, we didn't. We're split on the wide receivers, but
I would
in
say
PPR, go wide receiver.
It's 3 good options. Yeah, it's 3 good options.
Yeah, it is.
And
Marco Yu, Fournette, and Ayuk for Aaron Jones, who won?
The Jones side.
This is even to me again. You talk about even trades. This is pretty even.
Oh,
to me.
I messed up. I thought I saw Ayuk and Aaron Jones. It's Fournette and Ayuk for Jones. Yeah, this is fair.
This is pretty even for me. It's really, do you need depth at wide receiver or not? If you don't, then the Aaron Jones side. If you do, then the Ayuk side and the Fournette side. But either side, I'm cool with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sheldon Bright, what's going on, man?
What's up, Sheldon?
Recently traded Kenny Walker for Debo in a full PPR league, and this was a bad trade. Needed a wide receiver, and my wide receivers were Pittman, Devontae Smith, Dubs, and Mike Will. I mean, it's not a bad trade. It's just
running backs are Saquon, Ramondre, and Swift.
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
That's not a bad trade.
You got Debo, who I know he's dealing with the hamstring right now, but he's passed his bye after this week, and he's, you know what you're getting in Debo, a bona fide wide receiver 1 upside.
That keeps you alive while Mike Williams is out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Pittman probably has lost value for the rest of the season. Devontae Smith has been kind of quiet in the past weeks because AJ Brown is the Eagles' unquestioned top option.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with this trade because you have Saquon and Ramondre. I know Swift is in and out of the lineup and not 100% right now, but you at least have Saquon and Ramondre, and you can fire Swift up this week during Saquon's bye week. Then Saquon's past his bye week. You have him rest of season. Yeah, I'm fine with this.
Yep,
I'm fine with that.
I am too.
Yep, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I don't feel bad about that. I know Kenny Walker's been popping off, but I don't feel bad about that.
I mean, you got a wide receiver.
You got a top 8 wide receiver.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Crumply Heads, what's going on, man?
What's up, Crumply?
Derek, good to see you, even though you retracted your message. Damon Luce, wide receiver 1 and 2. Amon-Ra, Waddle, DJ Moore, Higgins, Kadarius. The first 2, man.
Waddle and Higgins.
The first 2.
I would play Waddle and Higgins.
I like Amon-Ra.
Detroit's playing the Packers.
Higgins, no Jamar Chase.
Yeah. Bengals.
That offense was not as good as it should have been last week.
No, they weren't that good, but it was a division game. They get an opportunity to bounce back against Carolina, who has been solid on defense. They have some pretty good young playmakers on defense. J.C. Horn among them, good cornerback. But T. Higgins,
I guess it's Damon. I'm trying to play. Then I'm
Waddle.
Yeah, it's Waddle and Higgins, but then I'm on Raw. You're trying to get him into your flex.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree with Waddle and Higgins at the end of the day, but then you want to get Amon-Ra St. Brown into your flex pretty much every given week.
Yep. No Hawkinson for the rest for moving forward. I mean, yeah.
And Jacob Ander need 2 in PPR. Deion Jackson, DeAndre Swift, Khalil Herbert, Cordarrelle Patterson, who is back.
He is back.
Got news
and
that he is back.
I want to fire him up too. I think I
need 2 in PPR. Not Khalil Herbert, even though I really like Khalil Herbert.
I like Herbert,
these
but
guys,
of these options, yeah. So I'll just say this about Swift. He didn't practice Wednesday. He returned to practice Thursday. I'm not sure if he practiced Friday. He's questionable with both ankle and shoulder injuries, and he got out-touched last week by Jamal Williams 13-10. Swift played more snaps. Swift is highly volatile right now. I think believe it or not.
Deion Jackson, Cordarrelle Patterson?
Yeah. Swift is a volatile floor play, and I get wanting to play DeAndre Swift. But at this point, it's hard to, like, you can legitimately ask yourself each and every week, will DeAndre Swift make it through the game? Obviously, if we could look into a crystal ball and say yes, then he's your guy. Then you're firing him up. But we can't do that. Swift has a great matchup. The Packers are not what I think they were hoping to be on defense this year. And at home, you feel good about the Lions' chances. They play much better at home. Swift is highly volatile, and being on the injury report, having been in and out of the lineup this year, getting out-touched by Jamal Williams last week. Swift came through, but he came through with a floor play. Patterson, I guess, is volatile in his own right because he's coming back from a 3 or 4 week absence. 4-week absence.
Look, Deion Jackson was the RB1 in the week where he filled in for Jonathan Taylor.
So
you put him in.
Jackson's in for me.
He's in for you. Now, the choice is DeAndre Swift or Cordarrelle Patterson. You're going Patterson. I could go either way. It really depends on if you want to risk it. If you want to really go all upside, then go DeAndre Swift. If you're willing to be more comfortable with the floor, but also you know that Cordarrelle Patterson has some upside in his own right, then just go Cordarrelle Patterson and just keep it safe. So Deion Jackson, Swift, Cordarrelle Patterson, that's the safe way to go, and it also has upside with both of them.
Sure. If you're like a 20-point underdog, then sure, just fire up Swift, because why the hell not? But otherwise, I think I would play Patterson and Jackson.
And Marco, that's all thanks to you, man. I mean,
still got to build the team.
I appreciate it, but you got to build a team, and we're just helping you out with the with our thought processes, and you make the decisions. So yeah.
There you go. Nicely done.
Shout out to you, man. Greg Z.
What's up,
Happy
Greg?
Saturday to you too. If Swift doesn't play, who would you start? Brian Robinson, D. Henderson, Deion Jackson, Kenyon Drake. I mean, Deion Jackson.
I'm playing Jackson over Swift right now. Anyway,
and then you're not sweating anything.
I'm playing Jackson over a banged up DeAndre Swift who's dealing with 2 different injuries right now.
Yeah.
Like,
just start
Swift
Deion Jackson and don't look back.
Yeah, I would just play Jackson.
And that goes to anybody who has Deion Jackson questions. Pretty much, just start Deion Jackson.
Unless it's Deion Jackson or
one of the top
stud.
4 guys.
Right. Then the Patriots are like, I think by the numbers, it looks like a bad matchup by the numbers, but it's actually not. The Patriots are in the bottom 10 in rushing yards allowed this year, as in favorable matchup for running backs. Top 10 in rushing yards allowed. So that's what I guess it meant. So it is the reason it appears on paper like the Patriots are a tough matchup for running backs is because they've only allowed 4 rushing scores on the year. Excuse me. I was talking way too fast. I got excited. It's actually not a bad matchup. They're not allowing too many scores on the ground, but they are getting gashed on the ground in the form of yards. I would play Jackson, especially with Ellinger looking like a guy who very much still needs to be protected by a conservative offensive approach.
Good point. Yep.
You know?
And Derek, what do you think about trading Andrews and Swift for CMC and Ertz? 10-team full PPR.
Yeah, I just don't want to deal with the headache that is Swift, and you're going up to CMC. Yes, I would do that. I know it's a drop off.
Ertz is kind of falling back to earth from what he was doing before DeAndre Hopkins got there.
Yeah, but
so you do have to factor that in, and then when Hollywood Brown comes in, further drop in targets for Zach Ertz.
Yeah,
he is still the tight end 4 on the season, but the past 2 weeks, yes, last week got a touchdown, but the week before that, I mean, he's get 4 targets, 5 targets the last 2 weeks, whereas in the first 6 weeks he was getting 6 target floor, 10 target ceiling.
Yeah.
So there is a difference with Zach Ertz. I don't know, like, I know Andrews isn't healthy right now. I know Swift, we're really not sure what we can get for him, and I know CMC has just been astronomical.
Yeah. That's why I want the McCaffrey side. I do.
But Andrews is still at like the tight end 2
I know.
At least when he's healthy.
I know.
And he will be healthy coming because keeping him out this game gives him, I think, 2 weeks because they got their bye. So coming out of the bye, this really depends to me if you need wins right now. If you need wins right now, then CMC and Ertz side. If you don't, and you're like 6-1, then I want Andrew Swift for what they can do come the playoffs in tandem, not just really CMC, because I feel like at that point, you're not going to be able to really rely on Ertz.
It's hard for me to say no to an opportunity to acquire McCaffrey.
Yeah, I mean, if it's win now, CMC. That's where I'm at. But Nick just says go CMC. So Derek, make that decision for yourself. Hopefully us talking about it helps a little bit.
Hope figures it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Damon, take Swift out and put Amon-Ra in. Boom, easy, done.
Yep.
Take Swift out, put Amon-Ra in. There you go. Who'd you have? Waddle, Higgins, Amon-Ra. Play them all in full PPR. Swift on the injury report. Multiple injuries that he's dealing with. No Hawkinson anymore. Yeah. Waddle, Higgins, Amon-Ra. Take Swift out. I don't know who your running back 2 is, but there's a good chance he's a solid option if Swift was in your flex to begin with. Swift to the bench.
Agreed. And Sam, what's going on?
What's up,
who's
Sam?
the best rookie fantasy player at midway point? I mean, it's hard not to say Olave.
Olave or Dameon Pierce had 140 rushing yards on Thursday night. Olave.
Yeah, I like the new the red Texan uniforms. I'm not gonna lie.
I said that. No, I was like, those helmets are actually pretty cool.
Yeah, they look dope.
Texan
I like
red
those.
helmets actually look pretty cool.
Yeah.
No, I actually did. I did like them. I thought that was a pretty cool look. The all red, or I don't
but
remember.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's Olave, then Pierce 1-2, and then at this point, I mean,
Walker's in
like
there.
Brees is still up there for what he was doing before injury.
Yeah,
Brees is. I mean, you got to put him 2 or 3. And
I think
Kenneth Walker
I think you got to put him
3 or
Walker
4.
ahead of him now because Walker is balling out and still healthy. So I think you got to put
True.
Walker ahead of him just by nature of the fact that Brees is not coming back this year.
Yeah,
but I'm fine putting Brees 4th, and I don't know that changes. Like even if one of the whether it's a Garrett Wilson or whomever has has a really strong game, I would still put Brees ahead of him. Brees was on his way.
I would too.
Was on his way. Yeah. Olave, Pierce, Walker.
And really, at this point, Pierce and Walker are like this. Like they're
close.
They're neck and neck. Depending on what happens the rest of the season, they could swap. But that's where I have it at right now too.
Yeah. Walker.
Dameon Pierce has been doing it for a little longer.
Walker didn't have a great game last week, but he did score. So.
And the coaching staff has alluded to, I mean,
they're just
it's Pete Carroll, so grain of salt, but they've alluded to using him in the pass game a little more.
Yeah.
So something in there. But Greg Z, you asked this question earlier in the week, but coming back with it. Cincy versus Carolina is one that you might want to think about.
That's not bad.
Miami versus Chicago. That's enticing. That is always enticing.
Yup.
Because Miami's going to put up points. Chicago's going to have to throw to catch up. And then
that game's in
you're
Chicago.
in really game script where Justin Fields really hasn't been yet.
He's playing very well, though.
He is, but I mean, he's still not passing a lot. He's still relying on his legs for that fantasy.
He's running,
work.
but they're dialing up those designed runs for him. Actually, the weather looks like it's
but that doesn't necessarily help him keep up with Miami. So,
nah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, if you want to play it safe, Cincy. If you want to play, if you want to risk it a little bit, but go for potentially a higher ceiling matchup, go Dolphins.
And the Dolphins, yeah. Either the Dolphins or the Bengals should be fine.
Yeah.
Miami's on the road. I think the Bengals are at home. I think they are. Just double checking that. Yeah, the Bengals are at home, so that actually makes me that leads me to be more inclined to go with the Bengals as like the safe play.
Yeah. Miami, if you're down by a lot in your
sure, Miami
deficit,
upside, yeah, Miami upside with more downside built in because they're on the road.
Like if you play Dameon Pierce and AJ Brown and Goddard already, then
sure, go with the Dolphins.
Yeah.
But I'm perfectly fine with Cincinnati at home. I think they should do all right.
And Marco, you already have an RB2 in Foreman. Just keep Foreman. He's gonna be an RB2 rest of the season. No need to trade him for an RB2. He is an RB2.
Nope.
And do you hold on to Juju, or do you think Tony will get all of the red zone?
Tony will get nothing.
Yeah.
Tony's a play for next year. They've said as much. I think it was Eric Bieniemy, who is still the offensive coordinator, said, we're gonna ease him in. This is gonna be like, they're not gonna rush him. I'm kind of paraphrasing, but they alluded to like, we're not gonna rush him. They're gonna take things slow. Remember, he was acquired mid-season and is stepping into a pretty complicated and sophisticated playbook. In redraft, just because he's now on the Chiefs does not make Kadarius Toney a must-add. Tony is not. I'll eat my words. I'll eat a box of candy and then the box on camera if Tony pops off. But I'm willing to bet Tony remains not a factor this year.
Yeah, man. To me, Kadarius Toney is the new Sammy Watkins. If he pops off, he's going to have an amazing game early on, and then he's going to be fool's gold the rest of the way. I have even if he shows us something week one of him being in the lineup, I'm not willing to put any real faith into that. Nor do I expect him to really pop off in week one. So that was just a caveat if, but yeah, no, I don't think Tony will really do anything this year.
No.
But Joe Fallon, start Patterson or Deion Jackson? Deion Jackson, man.
Deion.
Yeah.
Deion. Yeah. I mean, he got 70% of the snaps in week 6 when Taylor was out. Should probably just do that again. You should probably get that same amount of work again. And I know it's a different situation. Matt Ryan's not in there. Ellinger is. But again, all the more reason to lean on the run game as long as they can.
Yeah. And he got a fair amount of targets thrown his way when he was in starting. And again, he was the RB1 that week. So chase that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Damon, you can drop Tony.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Yep.
Eric Espino, have PPR, start 2 wide receivers, St. Brown, Godwin, Palmer, Olave. Ooh, you got to make another tough decision here. I think you gotta play Olave and you gotta play Godwin, man.
Yeah.
But you gotta play St. Brown too. I'm playing Godwin and St. Brown.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
And then honestly, I'm asking the question: who are you putting in your flex?
Yeah, who's in your flex? Because if it's somebody like DeAndre Swift, I'll take him out for Olave right now.
Yes. Yep. Me too. And Palmer is really, he's a good utility player to have this week and for the next few weeks because he's going to get good volume, but he's not necessarily going to do a lot with that volume. So if you have studs, play the studs over Palmer. Joe Fallon, play Everett or Likely if Andrews is out. Everett, but Likely is a good swerve too if you don't have a guy that is the caliber of player of an Everett. Because Everett, no Mike Williams, no Keenan Allen, most likely.
Should be plenty involved.
Yeah.
Who are the Chargers playing this week? I should know this.
The Falcons.
On the road in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah, Everett. Should be fine.
Now, is Cooper Kupp all right? Is he playing?
Yeah, he's playing.
All
he's
right.
playing.
CC Sharks, then in that case, man, go Josh Palmer.
Yeah, go Palmer over A-Rob.
Yeah.
No Allen, no Mike Williams. Should get plenty of looks.
And Marco, play Kupp and Lamb, and then...
Yeah, Kupp and Lamb.
And then if I have to choose a third one, I think I am going Palmer.
Yeah,
I
would
don't
go
love
Palmer
Juju.
over Juju.
Yeah. But just to circle back to that one, play your top two there and then go Palmer this week.
Yep.
Unexciting volume play that should give you wide receiver 2 volume-based upside.
Yep.
Charlie Nguyen, have PPR, Higgins or Juju? Higgins, absolutely.
Higgins. I know Juju's had 2 good weeks prior to the bye week, but Higgins is a wide receiver 1.
Tim Shields, do you think DeAndre Carter's illness will be a goodbye game time tomorrow? I really can't say, man.
Didn't they add somebody didn't they sign somebody like off the practice squad? I would not be banking on that. Bandy, I think. What's his name?
Michael Bandy. Yeah. I did see that.
Yeah, I would not bank on DeAndre Carter. I would find another option.
What's going on, Patrick?
What's
Val's
up,
the
Patrick?
GOAT. Your team is 7-1. Hey, congratulations.
Nice.
Mahomes, JT, CMC, DeAndre Hopkins, Amari Cooper, Kelsey, ETN, Damian Pierce, Lazard, Duvernay, James Robinson, and Juju. Nice squad. And should I trade JT, Amari, and Duvernay for Jamar, Olave, and Tunyon?
Yeah. I want no parts of Jonathan Taylor.
And you know Jamar's coming back because they haven't put him on IR, even though they very well.
Yeah, we know Jamar's coming back. We like Olave a lot. It looks like you could use some extra wide receiver help. Losing Amari hurts, but to replace him with Jamar and Olave, sell high on Duvernay should be fine rest of season. He should be pretty good, but to upgrade that way and get rid of the headache. I hate to say it, but get rid of the headache that is
now,
Jonathan Taylor.
You don't necessarily need Tunyon. Is there any way you can turn that into another running back? Is there any way that you can negotiate and having like Jamar Chase, Olave, and then some kind of backup running back, right? Because you don't need Tunyon.
Do not. Yeah,
Kelsey
Tunyon's
has passed his bye. You're never gonna play Tunyon.
Tunyon's never gonna get into your lineup.
So I'm cool with making this trade. I want to get another running back.
Yeah. Even if it's like a Pacheco because you have Mahomes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I agree. You have Kelsey. Tunyon is useless for your team. He'll never be a flex option for you. Yeah. I like it. If that's the best that you can do, fine. Worst case scenario, you just drop Tunyon and free up a roster spot. Because, again, you don't need him. But ultimately, yeah, make this deal. If you can get a backup running back, great. if it's this package or nothing, then take it, cut Tunyon, pick somebody else up.
And congrats on being 7-1. Usually at 7-1, I'm advocating you kind of stay course with what you got because it's been working. But yeah, good trade here. Good trade here. Yeah,
Taylor might be. I did a video on Deion Jackson a couple days ago, and if you want a little bit more context of where I feel like where we're at with Jonathan Taylor, feel free to check it out if you haven't. But essentially, I am worried about Jonathan Taylor rest of the season.
Yeah. Yep. And you should be too.
Yeah.
And yo, Patrick Hawes, we saw that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for coming
you,
on
man.
board. But yeah, let's talk some shit. What you got?
D. Lenny, Mark Andrews listed as doubtful on the Ravens
he's
injury
not
report
playing.
today.
Neither
Gus Edwards
neither is
too.
Gus.
Yeah. So
No.
it's patchwork right now for the Ravens. Devin Duvernay, Kenyon Drake, Isaiah Likely, like it's patchwork. So
it's Lamar's a lot is on Lamar Jackson's shoulders on Monday night.
Yeah, so a lot of these guys, the kind of desperation starts, but Isaiah Likely is a tight end 2 right now, high end tight end 2, can give you tight end 1 upside if Mark Andrews truly isn't playing and they go to him.
Yeah.
And Devin Duvernay, low end boom bust wide receiver 2 value.
Yeah.
Same thing I'd say for Kenyon Drake, RB2 value. Low end.
No Marshawn Lattimore for New Orleans on Monday night for what it's worth as it pertains to Duvernay. Makes it an interesting flex play if you don't love your other options.
And Derek, all you got to do is stay alive, man. Keep hope alive.
Oh, this was the what was that trade? Oh, the CMC and Ertz for Andrews and Swift. So he's 500. If you're projected for the playoffs with a 500 record, do you still want to just hold Andrews and Swift? I want McCaffrey, man. I do.
He's a difference maker, but like that, Andrews and Swift. If Swift can get back, and Andrews just continues to be what Andrews has been, especially since there's no Rashad Bateman anymore, like that factors in too. Rashad Andrews, when he comes back, he's going to get the volume that he got last year that made him tight end 1. He is going to be a difference maker. We talk about CMC being a difference maker. You're trading away a difference maker who's 2 weeks away from being back on your squad. And we liked Swift as a top 8 running back. He hasn't performed as such because of injuries, but I mean, it's hard to say no to CMC. I still think I want the Andrews side if I think that I can hold on. It all depends on how I feel about my squad and my matchups going forward for the next 2 weeks. Can I hold on to that 3 seed in the playoffs? Can I hold on to that playoff spot? If I believe I can, I'm staying pat. If I don't, I'm making that trade because I think it makes me better immediately, but not as good as it could be if Swift and Andrews come back healthy and reach their ceilings. Damon Lou's full team is Kamara, Pierce, Barkley, Hunt, Swift, Patterson, who you got to take off IR, Higgins, Waddle, Amon-Ra, DJ Moore, Tony, and Chase. Solid squad, man. You don't need Tony.
Not at all.
Pick up a backup running back somewhere.
And really quick, just because I see it at the very bottom, Val's Eno Benjamin instead of Tunyon, absolutely.
Yes, do that.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Make that move. Congratulations. Nicely
Good job.
done.
Good job. Hats off. And Joe Harris, I'm glad you got the notification too.
Yeah, there you go.
And Derek, appreciate you being in here. No worries about the insight, bro. We got you.
I think we're a little split on what we prefer here, but yeah, it's all we can do is hopefully have positive discourse as far, we can dislike what each other is saying, but if you ultimately come to a decision based off of it, then that's what matters most.
Yep.
And
Joe Harris, I would go Tyreek, Metcalf, Gabe Davis, Palmer.
And Palmer, yeah. I'm sitting Pittman until further notice. And I'm
a Palmer fan. I'm a Pittman fan, and I'm still.
That's a broken offense. It's a broken offense. It's a broken situation.
It'll run through Deion Jackson until further notice.
Maybe. I like Deion Jackson, but also this is not a good offense.
No.
Yeah, it's bad. So yeah, everybody but Pittman.
And Geno or Fields?
I had to make this decision myself this week. I'm going Fields.
I'm going Geno, so we're split here.
I think he's run for like 50 plus yards each of the past 3 weeks. He's playing much better. They just added Chase Claypool to the mix. I know he's not of the talent of DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, which Geno has at his disposal. But in this same matchup just a few weeks ago, Geno against the Cardinals, division game, Geno did not have a good game. I'm going Fields. And the Dolphins, again, to the point about the Dolphins are one of the best offenses in the NFL right now. I don't know if you can say the same about the Cardinals. This could be a situation where Fields has to, be playing well to keep pace. And he's at home. I kind of like Fields a little bit more this week. That's I made this same call myself, or I had to. I debated about it for a little while, and when waivers rolled through Tuesday night into Wednesday, and I chose Fields. It
is a floor ceiling conversation for me. So if you absolutely need the ceiling game, then I'm cool with you going Fields. But honestly, outside of that situation, man, like Geno, I know he didn't have a good game against Arizona last outing, but Arizona is giving up the let me see. I think it's the 6th most fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks. So, I mean, that's something that I'm chasing. Geno hasn't been bad by any means. He just hasn't really had ceiling games as of late, which is why I'm saying if you need ceiling games, I'm cool with you going Justin Fields. But if you really don't need a ceiling game, then Geno should be your play based on what he's been doing all season.
Yeah, I kind of
outside of a 3 to 4 game sample size,
past 6 games. This is the last thing I'll say. Just past 6 games for Fields running the ball. 60 yards, 82 yards, 88 yards, 47 yards, 52 yards, 47 yards. He's giving you a floor of 5 points just on the ground. And then if he can give you a couple of scores, which he has been doing.
Yeah, in the last 2 games, he's given you over 20 fantasy points. But, I mean, you listed off a couple of games there where you had a bunch of rushing, and you're talking about, 10 points, 17 points, 18 points. So, again, you're talking about the same floor, basically higher ceiling if Fields is in there. But, I mean, he does have a 4.8 point floor.
Yeah.
He's shown that multiple times this year. So, Geno's the safe option. Fields if you need the big the big play this week.
Both should be fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Both are QB1s this week.
I would think both are fine.
Yep. And we got a super. Thank you very much, Patrick.
Appreciate it, Patrick.
You traded too much, but you need to keep but you felt the need to create balance on your roster. You traded Diggs and some of your bench for Gabe Davis, Mixon, Najee, and Mike Williams.
All right.
Well, what was the sum of your bench? But, I mean, I don't hate that deal, bro.
You got an RB1. You got Gabe has top 20 upside each week. Mike Williams, when he comes back, is a little volatile, but...
I mean, I'm not really expecting too much out of Keenan Allen rest of season, so I think Mike Williams continues to stay a boom-bust wide receiver one.
His boom weeks are boom. His boom weeks are 20, 25 points. Najee, for all of Najee's trials and tribulations, he's still giving you top 24 weeks.
He's an RB2.
Yeah, he's an RB2.
We just have to be accustomed to that because we're not accustomed to that. But he's an RB2, and you should be all right with that in this deal.
So Edmonds was in the deal. Harris, is that Damian Harris? Maybe?
I mean, I'm cool with upgrading across the board there.
Yeah.
Fine with it, bro.
Yeah, Mixon and Najee are huge upgrades over Damian Harris and Chase Edmonds. And then Diggs for basically his teammate and Mike Will. Yeah, I think you're fine.
I'm fine with that, man.
Yeah, I think you're fine.
Good deal. Good deal.
I think you're fine.
Yeah, and thank you very much for the super, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Xavier Dobbs, what's bracking?
What's up, Xavier?
And regarding the DST question, careful, Bengals CB1 and CB3 are out. Good to know.
Are they? Okay.
Good to know. Swavey JP, 10-man PPR.
They're still safe.
6-2, should I trade Lamar Jackson, ETN, and Kadarius Toney for Josh Allen, Chris Olave, and Najee Harris? Yeah.
Your other running backs are Chubb, Swift, and Walker.
I would do that.
Yeah, because Lamar is playing with a skeleton crew right now, and Josh Allen is Josh Allen.
ETN's your RB3. You're upgrading at QB, and you're picking up a wide receiver 1 for your RB3. And considering your RB4 is Swift, I'm cool with that.
I'm fine with that.
ETN for Najee and Olave straight up. Yeah. Again, high-end wide receiver 2, if not a wide receiver 1 in his own right, plus a low-end RB2 in his own right for a high-end RB2.
I think ETN's an RB1 rest of the season.
I think he's a high-end RB2.
I think
so we differ there.
12. I do. I will say that. I do think ETN is top 12 rest of season. But Najee and Olave isn't bad.
He very well could be. But
I'd rather have the full package. If I would rather have, because Najee is so boring. Olave is solid. Olave is better than solid, but I would rather do that full thing. The Lamar for the Josh for the Lamar
yes,
side.
Me too.
I'd rather do the whole thing.
Yes.
I'd rather do the whole thing.
And yo, Callie, did the video come out?
It did.
I didn't see that.
A very short, a very small video of the Kamara altercation in Vegas did come out. It was incredibly poor quality. TMZ leaked it. Was it today or yesterday? TMZ leaked it. The quality was incredibly poor. It was kind of tough to make out any one specific detail. It's kind of wild that in today's day and age, you look at video footage and it's like, why does this look like the 1940s? It's incredibly poor quality video. I think, and again, I'm not a legal expert. I'm not a lawyer. I think we're going to, if that's the best that we have, we're going to have to continue to rely on eyewitness,
and regardless, nothing's going to happen on this until next season. They basically come out and said as much.
No, I don't think he's going on the commissioner exempt list because I don't think that video is super cut and dry. Now, I'm a little worried about Kamara for 2023. Like you just mentioned, it's a next year thing. I'm a little worried about Kamara for next year. I don't think this video, based on the quality of the video and the length of it, quality was poor. The length was not very, it was not a long video. It was incredibly short. I just don't think there's enough to go off of here to make a decision.
Nah.
Really don't. I really don't.
And D. Lenny, all right.
I know D. Lenny's been on the Fields train for a couple weeks now. For a couple weeks now, I agree. I like Fields as well. If for nothing else, I mean, Geno can run himself, but Fields has much more rushing upside, and they're designing plays for him.
Yeah, they are now. Yeah. They are. I'll give him that. Alex, I would go Olave. Not even close.
Yeah, Olave. I will say about Myers, he's been Devontae Parker is out, and Myers has been pretty solid this year, but I think I'm going Olave. The Ravens are not very good on defense.
No, they did just get a little better, but still.
Yeah, they just traded for Roquan Smith, but
yep.
Their defensive backs are still pretty. They're struggling right now. Yeah, I would
Antonio
go Olave.
Lopez.
What's up, Antonio?
Would you do AJ Brown and Walker for CMC and Pittman?
Pittman is too big. If I'm getting AJ Brown and Walker, yes.
Yes, I would. Yes,
if I'm getting the CMC side, as much as I love McCaffrey, as far as I'm concerned,
Walker's top 6 right now.
That's McCaffrey for AJ Brown and Walker, and Pittman is like a throw-in. I don't want.
Pittman's a wide receiver 3, and AJ Brown and Walker, they're both top 6 at their position right now.
I want if you're getting AJ Brown and Walker, yes. If you're getting the McCaffrey side, then no.
Yep. Marco, who should I stash? Hines or Rashad White?
White, easy.
I would go White, but I also am not. I'm not shying away from Hines right now either. So who else? Like, do you have a guy like Tony? Can you drop Tony for Hines and also pick up White?
Sure. But sure. If you can stash both, fine. But if you can only stash one, I prefer White. He has more of a role.
And Greg Z, another defense question. KC or Arizona? KC's playing Tennessee. Arizona's playing Minnesota. I think Seattle, I want
Seattle at Arizona, Minnesota at Washington. I'm playing Kansas City.
KC.
I'm playing Kansas City.
Tannehill did fly with the team, but I'm still playing KC.
Okay. And Eric's got Foreman in his flex. That's fine. I would say Godwin has to be one of your wide receivers. I would say St. Brown is a floor play. Olave is a ceiling play, but both should be good.
Yeah.
Hopefully that helps.
And Sheldon Bright, DeAndre Carter, Pittman, or CEH. I mean, it's
Clyde. DeAndre's dealing with an illness. Pittman's value is pretty much cratered with the switch to Ellinger. At least give me the dude who, he might only get 30% of the snaps, but Clyde is the one in the backfield.
He's been scoring touchdowns.
Who's actually scoring. So I'll take Clyde.
Richie Rich. Sorry.
Sorry, I was just repeating myself. Clyde.
Richie Rich, start one running back full PPR. Herbert, Jackson, Carter, Hines, or Swift?
Jackson. Deion Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson.
I'll go. I mean, for better or worse, I'm going back to this well. I'm playing Deion Jackson over DeAndre Swift this week.
Jackson. Yep. Joe Harris, you have 2 more leagues you need help in. Well, we can help out with that, man. 6-point passing.
Kyler over Cousins and Fields.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Kyler over Cousins and Fields.
Then Lawrence, Mariota, Dalton, Walker.
Oof. Mariota, at least he'll run. Well, Lawrence is getting a couple silly amounts of rushing scores this year himself.
Mariota. I'd go Mariota.
Mariota getting Patterson back. Yeah.
Yep.
Mariota. Atlanta's playing the Chargers at home. Yeah,
Mariota.
I think I would take a chance on Mariota.
Richie Rich, start 2 at the flex. Full PPR. Pitts, Thielen, Mooney, Hawkinson. First 2.
I think that's what I'm inclined to want to say.
I want to see Hawkinson and what he does first week before I go him over Thielen or him over Pitts for that matter. And
we have to remember Pitts fired last week, which was great to see, but he has been tough to trust this year.
Very tough to trust, but I still need to see Hawkinson first before I play him over somebody that just had a very good week.
Yeah.
And right now, it's the incumbent over the new guy for me, and Thielen over Hawkinson, and Mooney has to deal with Chase Claypool, who I think is more of a target hog than Hawkinson first week. Now, that could not be the case, and it could be Hawkinson target hog because they can't rely on Irv Smith. I don't know.
I think Mooney...
Right now, it's Pitts and Thielen for me.
I think Mooney's a ceiling play. Thielen is a floor play.
Okay.
Because Thielen's on the road. Mooney's at home. I think I actually might go Pitts Mooney.
Yeah, I'm firmly in Pitts Thielen.
I think I would go Pitts Mooney.
Mooney only has one week that you're happy with. Thielen has had multiple. Like, the way that Justin Fields has been doing it has not been through Mooney.
No, I mean, I know Mooney's been kind of quiet.
One game above 9.5, 2 games above 9.5 points, and that's 10.3 points and 11.4 points.
Well,
he really doesn't have a ceiling.
He's over 50 receiving yards 5 straight weeks. 70, 53, 68, 52, 94. Yeah, I like Thielen. I've always been a fan of Thielen, but now you have Thielen and Hawkinson. If you're not sure, see, now they're in the same offense. If you pick the wrong one, you're going to be kicking yourself. I'm just going to play Mooney because I know he's, despite Chase Claypool's arrival, still the Bears wide receiver 1. And again, maybe kind of quietly, past 5 weeks, over 50 yards receiving, and I think he's top 90 yards receiving in 2 of those weeks. And against the Dolphins, yeah, Pitts Mooney for me. And
yeah, it's Pitts Thielen for me because I mean, Thielen has 2 weeks this season with more points than Mooney has had all year. His ceiling is higher and the floor is similar, so that's where I stand. Like the floor is pretty much the same, but the ceiling with Thielen has been higher all season.
I'm playing Mooney.
It has been higher for both of their careers while they've been in the league. But yeah,
I'm playing Mooney over the Bears seem to be playing a little bit better on offense recently. Not that the Vikings are no slouches. They're 6-1. They're good. They're good for a reason. They have a reliable quarterback in Kirk Cousins. I understand the appeal of Adam Thielen.
Yeah, we're split there. Sorry,
split.
Richie. D. Lenny, would you consider starting Everett and flexing likely if Andrews is out? Likely should get 9 to 12 targets. I think he'd be lucky to get 9 to 12 targets, but I think he could be looking at 6 to 8 for sure.
Yeah, it's a low volume passing offense.
I'm still starting Everett, and I don't know about flexing likely. It depends what the other
it depends on my other options.
Yeah,
depends on my other options. He likely got 7 targets last week.
Yeah,
he might get that again. Yeah, it depends on my other options.
And Xavier Dubs, yeah, we talked about that a little bit. We're not really.
I'm not worried.
Yeah, I'm not worried for this year.
Not worried. And I'm not stashing Dwayne Washington.
No.
Nah.
Hope he helped Val's and Blake Little. Should I trade Fournette or Stevenson for Taylor or not at all? Nah.
Not at all.
Nope.
I am not no. I'm not with a 10-foot pole am I touching Jonathan Taylor.
And
No.
Xavier Dubs, I'd be surprised if they released outright Brandon Cooks. I
think it's a big dead cap hit if they do.
Yeah, I think they're just gonna continue to have him on their squad. And
they just got to figure.
that's why he was mad
out.
because they know that he wasn't gonna just get released.
He's not
because of
getting
his cap
released.
situation. That's why he was really mad that they didn't do anything, because it was like, really? Because you guys can't even make the last ditch decision to cut me because of the cap situation. So now I'm stuck here. That's why he was mad. So
yeah.
And Greg Z's trying to pivot with JT out, and you need a running back and a flex. Lenny, Gabe Davis, Mostert, Terry McLaurin, Dubs, Rondell Moore, Brian Robinson.
You have
Fournette and Gabe Davis, right? And Terry McLaurin.
I'm playing Lenny, and I'm playing
Terry
over Gabe. Yeah.
Lenny and Terry.
Yep.
Gabe, if you're down by a lot again and again, because Gabe Davis has 38 point upside, like he does. Terry, I don't know if he does.
Yeah.
But if you're fine with taking, a 17-point game, then Lenny and Terry.
Yeah. Terry should be able to give you 15.
Yep. Sheldon, would it be smart to pick up and play Khalif Raymond? I need help in the flex. Current options are Pittman, CEH, DeAndre Carter.
Raymond could be sneaky, but I'm playing Clyde.
Clyde over Raymond, higher ceiling.
Yeah. I'm playing Clyde. He likes he likes what you got going
good
on
shit,
in
bro.
the background too. There you go.
Yeah. Xavier Dubs, should I play Gibby with Dion this week or trade Dion for Kareem and play Gibby and DR? Don't trade Dion for Kareem.
No. Dion's
play
more
Gibby with
than
Kareem
rest of the season.
Play Gibby with Kareem.
Yep. Gibson and Dion.
Yeah, and if you have or trade Dion for Mute and have Schultz and Mute. No, you're fine with Schultz.
No. Don't trade Dion Jackson.
Make it work for this week with no Schultz right now. Keep Dion Jackson. And then when Schultz comes back, he's a tight end 1. So
do not trade Dion Jackson for anything less than I'm asking for a lot right now, which means I'm probably not going to get it, which means I'm not trading Dion Jackson.
Yeah, he could be a mainstay rest of season.
I am severely worried about
and they have no reason
Jonathan
to
Taylor.
not just shut him down if he's hurt.
I think that is a non-zero chance of happening. Not trading Deion Jackson. Not
Tim
for
Shields,
anything
I'm
less
going.
than a really good return.
Tim Shields, I'm going Khalif Raymond over Paris Campbell just because of the quarterbacks.
Yeah, better quarterback play.
And you need to start 2 out of Eno Herbert and Michael Carter. It depends on what happens with James Conner. Is James Conner all the way out?
He's questionable.
Right. Because then I think I'd rather play Michael Carter and Herbert.
I'm playing Michael Carter of these options, and I think I'm playing Herbert as well.
If James Conner is all the way out, I'm playing Michael Carter and Benjamin.
Yeah.
Yeah. And D. Linney, Khalif Raymond is a sneaky start. Hawkinson gone. Reynolds doubtful. Raymond has put up 12.5 and 9 points the last 2 weeks. 90% of snaps. There you go.
Yeah. He's a solid option, but over somebody like Clyde, I'll take the shot on Clyde.
Ignatius Penny Feather. Who's the best option this week? TJ Hawkinson, Likely, or Pitts? Pitts for ceiling, Likely for floor. TJ Hawkinson, he's kind of a mix of both, but I need to see what his utilization is first.
I think I think I would probably just play Pitts and hope for the best.
Yeah, me too. If you absolutely just need the floor week, then I think Likely is all right, but only in that situation. D. Linney, ETN, top 7 rest of season in his opinion too.
Yeah, I think he's ripping off 50-yard runs once a week now. Big time pass catcher. Not too much to write home about as far as Jacksonville's other pass catchers. ETN's, I think, in for a huge finish.
Yeah, could be.
I don't think he's an RB2. I think he's an RB1. Firmly.
Could be. I could be wrong. And don't get me wrong, when I say he's an RB2, I mean RB13.
Yeah, I think he's RB. Yeah, I think he's RB. Without the,
You're
Saquon,
RB10,
Chubb,
RB9,
Eckler, McCaffrey, Jacobs, Henry. After
Pierce,
that, it's
Walker.
And then he's right there. He's like 9-ish.
9-10, fair enough.
9-ish, yeah, and upside for better any given week.
Over Kamara?
Yeah, that might be, maybe Kamara.
Over Aaron
Cook.
Jones?
Nah, all right, so yeah, he's top 12. I would put him 11th or 12th.
And I have him 13th, so we're right there. We're real close on him. And yeah, I guess I need to watch the Kamara video, man.
Yeah, they got him good, but it's, again, the details of the video itself are incredibly fuzzy. You can make out Alvin Kamara, but it's just like the details are fuzzy.
Yep. Terrell Taltoan, Tunyon or Hill? I think I'm going Tunyon here, man.
Taysom Hill is like super volatile. Like, he'll give you 30 or he'll give you 3.
Yeah.
What's Alan Lazard's status for the game?
I think he's okay, but I don't know for certain.
I'm gonna look that up.
Ignatius, I'm going Boyd, and it's not real close. I know Devontae Parker is out, but I'm going Boyd, man. Better QB, honestly, higher ceiling player from what we've seen this year. Boyd.
Lazard is a game time call, questionable with his shoulder injury. Tunyon, Terrell over Hill.
Tunyon.
Just it's I know both are kind of tough to trust, but I'll take Tunyon.
And Tim, yes, do that. Drop Evan Ingram for Michael Carter right now.
Oh, absolutely. James Robinson was put on the injury report earlier today with a knee injury. Yes, pick up Carter. Pick up Carter.
And Callie thinks more footage will come out. Could be, but I mean, we waited this long, and this is the only thing we've really seen, so I don't really know. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm not.
We'll see.
I'm not. Again, if I had a crystal ball, then great, but I don't. I'm going to operate right now like Kamara's fine for this season.
If anything, we'll get a longer snippet of the same video in higher def. Like, I think that's where we're at. So we'll see.
Which
we'll
might
see.
help
we'll see how
with
it plays
some
out.
Clarity as far as the details, but again, this is all speculation.
Xavier Dubs, thank you very much.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And this guy 12 also, when Kansas City cut Hunt, they did that on their own. NFL had nothing to do with it.
As it pertains to Kamara. Yeah, I mean,
I don't think that's going to happen, though. Different situation.
Slightly different. I mean, they did beat the crap out of that dude.
Yes. But it, like, I don't know. I don't know if it, I haven't seen the video, if it identifies him as stomping him out or just his team. Like, there are various.
Yeah, he was involved. He was involved.
Yeah, obviously. But there are differences. So we just got to wait. Legal system's weird. I can't say definitively. So we'll see. Patrick Haas. You're taking up 4 spots on your team. You have Singletary and Cook, Akers and Kyron Williams. Which 2 are expendable?
The Rams. Or is that James Cook?
Cook and
I don't know that Akers is worth a hold.
If it's between Akers and Kyron Williams, I think I'd rather have Akers. But it's very close at this point. And it would be Akers and Singletary. If I'm talking which ones aren't expendable, but even Akers is expendable, it just depends what other options are out there. But if it's a choice between him and Kyron Williams, bro, I don't want anything to do with this entire backfield. And Cook, he's been relegated to number 3 with somebody who plays his same exact role ahead of him on the depth chart versus where he was just last week. So Singletary is the only must.
I don't want that Rams offense in general at all.
Yeah. Outside of him and Higbee, yeah.
So maybe just keep the Singletary Cook backfield.
And the Kansas City defense this week should be fine.
Yeah, they're playing either Malik Willis or a game time decision Ryan Tannehill. So yeah, and then
I'll worry about next week, but Jacksonville, yeah. I mean, I'll worry about next week, but I'm fine with Kansas City this week.
They're playing both games at home. You know, I don't need a defense to have a ton of great personnel to feel good about them. I just need in that situation, you just expect Kansas City to be winning games. Therefore, the defense can play with house money in the second half and tee off with what is expected to be a lead.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're fine.
And in standard, Aaron Jones, ETN, Ramondre, or Walker. That's a tough decision.
I mean, you gotta play. You can only play one of them, Sad J.
Walker. Then Stevenson.
Yeah, I can't even answer this. I don't think I can answer this question. You can only play one of them. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's Walker for me. Then Stevenson if Damian Harris is out, because I think he's dealing with an illness right now. If Damian Harris is in, doesn't really hurt Ramondre all that much. But in that situation, I'm swerving to ETN. So then it's Walker, ETN.
Walker's 4th for me here. Like, you're talking about bunch
Walker
of RB1s. I don't know, man. Print their headshots out. Stick them up on the wall, blindfold yourself, and throw a dart at it. Like, honestly, you can only play one of these dudes. The answer is yes. Honestly, the answer is all of them.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. Basically, you can't go wrong.
It's 4 RB1s.
It's up to you as to which one you think has the most upside.
Yeah,
but, I mean, you really can't go wrong with any of these guys.
Like, I can't say no to Aaron Jones.
Yeah, that's your guy. Giovanni Sierra, pick 2 PPR, Michael Carter, Cordell Patterson, Curtis Samuel, Romeo Dubs. The first 2, man.
I agree on Carter, especially because James Robinson is expected to miss the game now with a knee injury. I'm not opposed to Curtis Samuel in full PPR, though. Who at least, Patterson in his first game back, we got to see it a little bit. I feel fine about him. I feel confident enough in him, but I kind of like Curtis Samuel, who has been, there were some concerns that he would kind of take a tumble with going to Heineke, but he hasn't. He's been fine. These past 2 weeks, he's got 9 total backfield touches, 4 for 29, 5 for 26. Last week, 3 for 50. The week before, 5 for 53. So he's giving you 75 plus yards.
Yeah, he's giving you basically 10 fantasy points each week, which
that's
floor,
all right. Patterson ceiling.
I think Patterson gives you 10 points as a floor. So I'm going Michael Carter Patterson pretty firmly.
Patterson ceiling, Samuel floor. Carter's in for me.
Fair enough. Sad J, you don't anticipate Damian
man,
Harris playing. We'll see.
I'm not trying to. I mean this in the nicest way possible. I can't give you an answer to that.
Yeah.
We'll see. If it's just one, I can't give you an answer. I guess ETN is fourth for me in standard, but like again, he could. Yeah, I can't give you an answer, man. I'm sorry. Yeah.
And Cali Loco wants to pick up Craig Reynolds and to protect his Swift pick. You have to drop Maher to do it. Santos for
well, don't you? You got to drop
something or Crosby.
Well, you got.
So you have two kickers.
I would not. I mean, the guy to have in this backfield is other than Swift
is Jamal Williams. Yeah, it's not Craig Reynolds.
I would say don't worry about it. If you already have your kicker for this week, because Maher's on bye, if you already have your kicker, just, I would just hold out hope. If you really want Reynolds, just wait until after this week, and then you can drop your kicker for Maher. You put Maher back in and drop your kicker for Reynolds then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, D. Lenny Walker's been great. ETN's been great. We'll see. You're splitting hairs. You really are.
You're talking about four really good options. I can't make that call.
And if it's a choice between Mooney and Duvernay, I mean,
Mooney. I like Duvernay this week, but it's a low volume passing off. I mean, it's too low.
Yeah, I guess I gotta go Mooney.
Offenses. But Mooney, I think, has a little bit more of a talent difference.
Yeah.
Mooney for me, Callie.
And Sad J, it was sit one.
Oh, it's sit one. Well, then I'm playing Jones. I'm playing Ramondre.
If you said Kenneth Walker was four for me, then four for you, then that's who you're sitting.
I guess I'm sitting
in standard.
Walker. I guess I'm sitting Walker. Walker needed a touchdown to salvage his day last week. So, I'll play the first three. Jones, ETN, Ramondre. That's what I'm doing.
You really can't go wrong, dude. Like,
you really, can't go wrong.
You honestly can't go wrong. If one guy's projected to get 19 points, the other guy's projected to get 20, the other guy's projected to get 21, you can't go wrong. They're all in the same,
right?
All in the same tier. Yeah. And we got Mooney or Duvernay. Patrick, of those four running backs above, who would you drop any of them for Chuba or J.K. Dobbins?
I would drop. I mean,
I drop any. I drop Akers, Kyron, or Cook for J.K. Dobbins. I would.
Yeah, but then you can stash him in IR, right? Or what's your IR situation? Do you have, if Kyron Williams is in your IR spot, you don't need to take him out because he wasn't activated for tomorrow. So I would drop Akers for Dobbins.
And I think the decision's pretty much already made on whether or not Chuba's gonna be the guy over Donta Foreman. Like, it's gonna be undeniable after this week. After 3 weeks of high-end performance, it's Donta Foreman's backfield.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
For Chuba, no. For J.K. Dobbins, yes.
Yes. Agreed.
And for Jameson Williams, for all you Jameson Williams holders out there, the coaching staff said that he's going to take him more time.
He's not playing this year.
Yeah, Dan Carpenter, or whatever his name is,
Dan
Campbell. Carpenter, this quarter, the kicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said another month. Yeah. Public service announcement.
And we haven't heard anything about Treylon Burks.
No, we haven't, but at least he played this year. I would honestly, I don't think either of them are redraft are redraft stashes.
I'd rather have Hubbard over either of those guys, but I'd rather just not have Hubbard.
Right. I'll just pick up a healthy dude.
Yeah.
Burks, I think, is going through, a growing pains of a rookie season between injuries and a tough situation.
Learning to cope with asthma in the NFL, which is possible. Emmitt Smith did it.
Yeah, and Tannehill is banged up. It's it's a struggling offense.
Malik Willis is
Malik
not
Willis
good.
is not ready.
I just don't think he's good. I think
I
they
won't
draft
kill
another
him
quarterback
yet.
next season.
Well, they might. I won't kill Malik Willis yet. After
I think
one
Malik
game.
Willis is Tyler Huntley.
Oh, okay. I won't kill him just yet, but as it pertains
That's
to
not
Jameson,
killing him either. He can start in the league. It's just
yeah. And then with
you're talking Tyrod Taylor, PJ Walker spectrum.
all right. And then as far as JMO, I'll plant my flag. Jameson Williams is a play for 2023.
Yeah. Agreed. And no, I wouldn't start Patterson over Higgins, amon-ra, or Waddle.
No. Nope.
I'm starting all those guys over Patterson. Ben Schuler, Singletary, Cordarrelle, or Gibson. They're kind of all in the same tier, but like
Singletary's safe. Gibson's got some upside, but he is volatile. I feel like it's kind of this week will be the week where we determine who the guy is in Washington moving forward. Gibson has been the guy 2 weeks in a row. That's great. They're at home. Let's see if Gibson continues to be the guy. I think
it's Cordarrelle right now.
I was gonna say Singletary.
Singletary first floor, Cordarrelle ceiling. Gibson is the unknown.
Gibson's another Gibson's high ceiling but low floor.
Yes, because he could just score no touchdowns and just get the yardage that he got last week.
I would say Gibson is the most. Yeah, I would say Gibson is the most boom bust here. Yeah. So I guess if you're like a 20-point dog, if you're like I'm a huge underdog, then screw it, swing for the fences and play Gibson. Otherwise, Singletary should be fine. Patterson should be okay, but just remember Patterson's coming back after missing a month. So that makes me, between the two of Patterson and Singletary, I'm a little bit more inclined to say Singletary.
Yep. And JP, no, I think you're fine. Don't think that was a dumb move. If you need the win, you need the win. And for what it's worth, I think likely we'll have more points than Otten will this week.
And I don't think it's, dumb to drop Chuba because I'm not sure Chuba's a hold.
Mm-mm. And St. Brown or Lockett for the flex. Lockett's been great, bro, but I think I'm going St. Brown with no Hawkinson, no DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, let's see amon-ra without Hawkinson, and I mean this in a favorable way for amon-ra before we worry about amon-ra.
Yeah, I'm not Lockett is still, a threat for top 12 production, but I think St. Brown has a higher ceiling with the same threat for top 12 production in there.
They and again, the Lions are one of those teams where they play better at home in their dome. Like last week, again, nothing, 7 for 69, nice on 10 targets. Couple quiet games for amon-ra the past 2 games, in between his bye week. Week 7, he had 1 catch for 4 yards on the road. Week 5, 4 catches for 18 yards. Not great. He's been kind of hobbled from the injury that he suffered. I think it was back in week 3 or between weeks 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Week 4 he didn't play. Week 5, first game back from the injury. Quiet week. Not going to hold that against him. First game back from the injuries. Week 6, bye week. Week 7, maybe still wasn't all the way back. Only 1 catch, 4 yards. Weird game for the Lions on the road. They got their butts kicked. Didn't get anything going on offense. But then last week at home against Miami, 7 for 69 on 10 targets. They're home again. He's not on the injury report. I'm firing amon-ra back up for 1 more week before it's like, okay, if he has a bad week this week, then it's like, okay, what do I do with amon-ra? But let's give him the benefit of the doubt, given his recent track record.
He deserves that right now.
Yeah,
considering what his competition is, we're looking at the same exact situation he was in last year, around this time, about 2 weeks from now, last season, when he started performing like a high-end wide receiver, basically the wide receiver 3 for the next 6 games. It was no DeAndre Swift, no Hawkinson, right?
Yeah.
And Khalif Raymond at secondary wide receiver. That's exactly the situation he walks into for basically the rest of the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And JP dropped likely Mooney for likely.
Sure.
All right.
No, drop Chuba, not Mooney.
No, D.
Right.
Lenny.
Oh, D. Lenny.
Drop Mooney for likely. Yeah.
I mean, if you're super stout at wide receiver, then okay.
If you need to make the move, you need to make the move.
Sure.
But Zachary Hugh with the crazy trade, Likely and Deion Jackson for CD and Garrett Wilson. That's how you do it, man.
Yeah, that's a win. I really like Deion Jackson moving
We don't
forward,
like to talk about trades in terms of wins and losses, but that's a win.
Yeah, CD's top 7.
Yeah.
Wilson's a little bit more of a dart throw, but so are the 2 guys that you gave up. So to get CD, yeah, nicely done.
Yep. And Joe Fallon posting
Nicely
your
done.
lineup. Cup, Terry, Aaron Jones, Deion Jackson, Patterson, Palmer. We would go Patterson. In a non-PPR league, Patterson.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. But solid lineup, man.
Yeah.
Chris Olave or Terry McLaurin.
We got this earlier. I think we're split on this.
Olave,
I like
man.
Terry. I like Terry. John likes Olave.
Yeah.
Terry's been really good since Taylor Heineke re-entered the starting lineup.
You're
Olave's
splitting
just
hairs,
been on
bro.
a tear in
They're
general.
right next to each other, and
Yeah.
whether we would probably have them ranked.
One's probably ranked like 12, one's ranked 13, or one's ranked 11, the other's ranked 12. Something
Yeah,
like that.
11 and 12 because I think they're both wide receiver ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Terry. I like Olave. I like Terry a little more. I think John's the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Swavey JP, you got 2 offers: Lamar and ETN for Josh Allen,
this
Olave,
are,
Najee, or ETN for Olave and Najee, and
We
Odell
answered
Beckham
this,
Jr.
we
All right,
answered this
but
earlier.
he threw another. You got another nugget in there, and
Yeah.
an Odell Beckham
Odell.
Jr. Okay,
Yeah, Odell's...
it doesn't really move the needle,
That
but
doesn't move it for me at all. But yeah, I'll take the Allen side.
yep, so would I.
Better quarterback. Not that it's much. Lamar's good, but Lamar's just lost his wide receiver 1 for the rest of the year.
Just press yes on the Josh Allen trade.
Allen, Olave, Najee. Yeah, I would do that. I would take the Allen package. Yep.
And Patrick, between Ertz, Tunyon, Ingram, Likely, and Higbee, I
would
think you
play
just got to
Ertz.
continue to play Ertz,
I would
but
just fire up
recognize that
Ertz.
he has a lower ceiling than he has in recent memory.
I think he had a decent game last week, didn't he?
He did. He scored a touchdown. It's just his targets have basically been cut in half since DeAndre Hopkins has entered the fold.
Also, Seattle is still the worst by the numbers against opposing tight ends, so fire him up. Yeah, I would just stick with Ertz.
Yep.
Tunyon's up and down. Ingram's up and down. Likely, between Likely and Ertz, I'm going with the proven product in Ertz. And then with Higbee, Higbee has cratered the past few weeks. And
Yeah, it's that whole offense, bro.
That Rams
Ugh.
offense stinks.
Yeah, it does.
They stink.
That's the team that has the Super Bowl hangover, not the Bengals.
Well, the Bengals, they both have Super Bowl hangovers.
Yeah, but the Bengals, I think, are
4-4.
managing it. They just have to deal with some injuries that have really stunk.
Yeah. They're both
yeah.
having some hangover issues.
Yeah. Greg Z, roll with Terry. Roll with
There you
Terry.
go.
And Derek was just offered Jacobs for Swift and Boyd. Thoughts for full PPR?
Yeah.
It really depends on your wide receiver situation, but I think I'm okay with that. If Boyd is slots in at your wide receiver 5 or 6 or something like that. If you're stacked and you're just thinking, let me make my teams even more stacked, I think I'd rather have Jacobs.
Even your wide, because Boyd's going to lose value when Chase comes back.
Right.
Jacobs isn't losing any value because nobody's taking his job.
Yeah, I just want the Jacobs side of things.
Yeah, I'll take Jacobs. And Zachary says you might be able to get a little more. If you can, great. But if you can't, I'm still taking Jacobs.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Jacobs
sure.
has been killing it, dude.
Sure. He didn't have a great game this past week, but previously he's been a stud RB1. Yeah, ask for a little extra, because why not?
And Lincoln was here. What will Isaiah Likely become? It's hard to say. I think, there's no chance he ever comes in and supersedes Mark Andrews, and I think Mark Andrews is a stalwart. Just he's just gonna be there for a long time. He's not moving. They're not moving him. So Isaiah Likely becomes. You're talking at best. He's an Aaron Hernandez type. At best, and I don't even think he's that.
Yeah,
I don't even think
Hernandez
he's
to
that.
Gronk.
I think he's
got a chance to be really good.
I think he's Juwan Johnson.
I think
He'll have some 2 touchdown games and in there and stuff, but just based off of the usage, talent wise, yes, I think he's better. But nobody's getting in the way of Mark Andrews, so he's gonna have a limited role. But he'll have games where he'll score 2 touchdowns, is what I'm saying, which is why I threw the Juwan Johnson comp out there.
If the greater question here is you're trying to acquire him and that's what the guy is asking for,
say no.
Then no, he's not worth that. He's not worth DK Metcalf. He's not worth a 24 first. No.
The most that I'd pay for Likely right now is probably a 24 second, and that's probably a little bit of an overpay for me. But if I want to do it, if I believe in it, I'll do it. But that's kind of where it stands for me. His athletic profile is still not one to chase. He is doing well, though.
He's doing very well.
And you look at Mark Andrews, he was never an RAS above 9 or an RAS around 8 guy either. His was around 7. So, yeah.
He looks good. That's not a fair asking price, though.
No. Yep. And Kamara and Devontae's court dates are next week. Interesting, JP. We'll see how it goes.
You can try to buy low.
Yeah.
You can always try. I'm going to assume that'll fall on deaf ears, though.
Yeah.
But you could try.
And Derek bought Adams based off of what he's been doing lately.
Right.
Hey, buy low there, man. That is a buy low. That situation, the whole Adams situation is a buy low. Because he has not been doing what everybody thought he would, or what he's been doing, what we're used to him doing in years past.
Yeah.
And D. Lenny thinks very highly of Likely. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, right. He's blocked by Mark Andrews, but look, there's no denying he looks really good. And in this type of offense, he could flourish even with a healthy Mark Andrews because there's nothing, Bateman's gone for the year. And outside of Bateman, no disrespect to Devin Duvernay, but they're not exactly household names at wide receiver. So yeah, Likely's definitely got a chance for some real long-term appeal here. It's just he's not ever overtaking Mark Andrews. So will I trade a second round pick for him, in a tight end premium league? Yeah. Nothing more than that though.
Yeah. No.
But he's earned it because he looks good. And I think there's reason to feel good about him moving forward. But a first round pick or a guy like DK Metcalf, no. I need the first round pick in addition to Likely if I'm giving up Metcalf.
Yeah, his whole, like, you're hoping, like, you look at a guy like him, and I look at him and I see Foster Moreau, a guy that in his rookie season, in his first 2 seasons, when he was given the work, did very well with it, but was always behind a number 1 guy. And maybe next year we're hoping to finally see Foster Moreau go elsewhere now that his contract is up behind Darren Waller. Isaiah Likely's 4 years away from that.
Yeah.
So you just have to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
And I think we already got to Swavy's question there.
Yeah, Swavy, let us know if you missed it. Because we did answer that.
JP, Boyd or Gibson PPR?
If you think Boyd's a lock, then play Boyd.
Yeah, it is closer than
it's close.
You might
Gibson's
think
good. But if you kind of answered your own question. Like,
it's Boyd for me, but
if
Gibson's
you feel
close.
like Boyd's a lock, then play Boyd. Like, don't. If you like the play, then make that happen.
Yeah. No, and I think you're on the right.
I don't want to be talked out.
You're on the
of
right
something.
track. It's Boyd.
I don't want to be talked out of something if I already believe in something.
It's Boyd, but Gibson's a good play.
Yeah, Gibson's a good play too, but if you believe in the guy that you already have in there, then just go with him.
And Kelly Loco's worried Swift might not play or get shut down, and Craig has a good game. I'm not worried about Craig, man.
I'm not worried about that. Not worried about that right now. The guy to have is Jamal Williams, not Craig Reynolds.
Yep.
You know,
and
if you're worried about Swift, then go trade for Jamal Williams.
Yes. Do that.
Like trade Brian Robinson and Madison for Jamal Williams or something like that. Like I'm not worried about Craig Reynolds.
Not at all.
Go make a trade for Jamal Williams if you're worried about Swift. Bryce Young just threw a pick in the red zone. I gotta turn that game on. Tennessee game's over. Georgia won 27-13. Hendon Hooker.
And McKissick's out. D. Lenny.
I think he is out. Yeah. So Gibson is the McKissick role. Yeah.
And John, hey Mata, we appreciate you being here. Much appreciated. John Alvarez, Conklin are likely.
Likely.
Yeah, I think this week it's likely.
It's just Conklin caught a touchdown last week. He kind of came back to life, but it's just the Jets' offense doesn't look very good right now.
They're honestly, again, they're pretty close to me, but I think it's likely. Edge likely.
I would play likely without Mark Andrews. No Mark Andrews, no Rashad Bateman. Gus Edwards is also doubtful for whatever that's worth. I'll take likely.
And Zachary Hugh, I would not do that. I like Stevenson, but I would want to hold on to Jamal. Can you do Swift and some ancillary wide receiver you don't like for Stevenson, and then you at least know that you got the steady option for the Lions plus the steady option for the Patriots moving forward?
Or get another piece.
Yeah.
Get something else.
Something like that. One of those two options.
Wide receiver 3 or even a low-end wide receiver 2, like a Duvernay or something. Because you're giving up a valuable you're giving up a valuable backfield combo.
Yep. And Derek, good receivers, man. After you bought Adams, good receivers. Yasir Ahmed, should I get rid of Lenny? You got Patty, Lenny, Dalvin Cook, Miles Sanders, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, T. Higgins, Kyle Pitts, Hollywood Brown, Keenan Allen.
All right, so you're hurting at wide receiver a little bit because of the Hollywood and
you got
Keenan
Dalvin Cook
injuries.
And Miles Sanders. Depending on who you got on your bench, man, I'd be trying to move Dalvin Cook, not Lenny. But I would be trying to upgrade, see if you can upgrade one of at wide receiver a little bit.
I mean, between Lenny or Dalvin Cook, you could ask for a stud wide receiver.
Yeah, try to trade Dalvin Cook because, as Nick has said multiple times, we're worried about Dalvin Cook's longevity with his shoulder continuing to be dislocated a couple of times a year.
Repeat shoulder dislocation injuries leads to long-term concern with that. So, yeah.
Yeah. But good luck, man. And John Alvarez, what do you do with Elijah Mitchell? Running backs are Jones and Gibson. You hold Elijah Mitchell.
Hold, because you don't have to activate him yet. It sounds like he might play week 10. You could even sandbag him in the IR spot and see how he does. He's probably not going to do much as long as McCaffrey's healthy, but if anything happens to McCaffrey, then Mitchell goes back to having some real RB2 upside.
Yep. And McCaffrey hasn't been the most healthy running back in the world, so
I think he'll be fine.
I think he will too, but you want to have that handcuff just like you want any handcuff to any bell cow roll.
Try trading him to the person who has McCaffrey for a different running back.
You could.
Try that.
And Lincoln, start those first two, Rondell and Adam Thielen. I'm not trusting Alec Pierce with Sam Ellinger in there.
If I can't trust Pittman, then I damn sure can't trust Alec Pierce or Paris Campbell.
Yeah. And Callie, you need an RB2, a wide receiver 2, and a flex. Eno, Connor, Dylan, Madison, Pittman, DJ Moore. I mean, it's Connor and DJ Moore. And if Connor doesn't play, then it's Eno and DJ Moore. And as far as your flex,
I'm going DJ Moore.
Is it Dylan or Pittman?
Oof. Can't trust either one. If you're worried about Pittman, then play Dylan. I don't feel great about Dylan, but if you're this is the
Dylan floors, Pittman ceiling, because Pittman can still get hyper targeted with bad targets and can save his day.
Sure.
Dylan, I think, is a little bit more of a floor play, but if you can stomach it, then that's the flex
I guess
play there.
You can answer your own question by saying like, who am I less worried about? Which I know doesn't feel great, but if one of those guys is one that you are less worried about, then play that dude. Play the dude you're less worried about.
Yep.
You know? But DJ Moore has to be in there of this crew.
Yeah, I would agree.
But if Connor's in, which I got to get the final. What was the
I don't think we know yet.
What was the last word on Connor? I know he's questionable.
Yeah, I don't think we have anything definitive
like a game time call or expected to play to be a game time decision as usual. Yeah, if we don't have any, and they play in the late window, they play in the 4 o'clock slate. If we don't have any updates on Connor, I know it's tough, but I would play DJ Moore and Dylan. Obviously, you want to play one of those Cardinal running backs if we know one way or the other what the situation is.
Right. Even though the home away splits aren't what we would normally be chasing, it doesn't matter.
But if we don't know anything before the 1 o'clock kickoffs, then I'm just gonna roll with Dylan and hope for the best. If you're worried about Pittman, you can also play Pittman. Again, a lot of these are hope for the best situations.
Yeah.
So
Dylan floor, Pittman ceiling. It depends.
Yeah.
And Dylan, he's helping out. Love to see it.
Yeah. I said that. Said right. Trade Elijah Mitchell to the McCaffrey guy.
Yeah. Try it out.
Try get something.
And Crumply Heads, I would go Dion and Likely.
Yes.
This week. Dion and Likely.
Gesicki's been catching touchdowns.
He has, but I'm still going Dion and Likely.
Yeah. I like Dion's opportunity this week. I do.
And I like Likely's opportunity this week. Never thought I'd say that in 2022, but here we are.
I think he's likely going to do well.
Huh?
Say it again. I think he's going to likely do well.
There you go. Sarp Eden at flex. Should I start Josh Palmer, Donta Foreman with Chuba Hubbard out this week? Foreman.
Play the starting running back.
Yep.
He's not going to. Is he going to score 3 touchdowns again? Probably not. Is he going to get all the work? Yes.
Look at what Josh Palmer did on 12 targets last time he got 12 targets, which was, I believe, 2 to 3 weeks ago. Didn't do a whole lot. He just got the volume. And I expect another day like that out of him this week. Donta Foreman has a 30-point ceiling. So, chasing that.
Yeah, I don't know if he's got another 30-point game in his bag, but I'm playing.
He's shown the ceiling, and Palmer hasn't. Seen it. So,
let's put it this way. I think he's a safe lock for 15 points.
Yes.
Foreman.
Yep.
Yeah, Foreman.
And Derek, thanks for the appreciation, man. Thanks for being here. If you have any more questions,
thanks for coming in.
If you have any more questions, let us know.
We will be here tomorrow at 7 a.m.
Yep.
If anything else comes up.
Well, 10 a.m. EST, 7 a.m. Western.
10 a.m. Eastern. I keep saying 7 a.m. because that's my time.
Yeah.
Sorry, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific.
And John, I'm glad the transaction was completed. Good luck moving forward, man.
There you go. Nicely done.
Yep. Marco, Herbert, Aaron Jones, Foreman, Cup, Juju, Everett, Boyd, Bench, Pacheco, Jamal Williams, Palmer, Myers, buy Lamb, Pollard. Who do I play? Thanks in advance.
I would actually play Myers over Juju personally. But I think you have it for the most part fine.
Yeah.
Like Jones, yes. Foreman, yes. Cup,
I'd play Jamal
obviously.
Williams. Yeah, I'd play Jamal Williams over Juju.
Yeah, I think
I'd play Jamal Williams over Juju and over
I don't want
Myers.
to take anything away from Juju. He's had 2 very good weeks the past 2 weeks prior to the bye week. Looks like he maybe is finding himself in that offense a little bit. So if you have Juju penciled in there and you want to play him, then sure. That might be the one change I make. Williams or Myers, I'd be fine with either one. But otherwise you have it right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you have it right.
And Callie, if you're rolling with the Cardinals defense this week, I would look to see if the Chiefs are on the wire, if the Bengals or the Dolphins are on the wire.
Yeah.
Honestly, if the Vikings playing against Washington in Washington, but still against Washington, see if they're on the wire. Colts versus New England. I would go all those options over the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And John, glad we could help. Zachary Hugh, you're trying to put together Swift, Jamal Ertz for Ramondre Pittman Taysom.
If I'm getting the I don't want Pittman. I don't want Pittman.
Yeah, I'd rather have Ertz than Taysom, even though I'm not.
I'd rather have Ertz than Taysom. I'd rather have Ramondre than Swift Jamal.
And I'd rather have Jamal than Pittman straight up.
I'd rather have Jamal than Pittman.
And I'd rather have Ramondre than Swift, but it's close. So I think I just want the Swift Jamal Ertz side.
Yeah, if I have the Swift Jamal Ertz side, I think I'm keeping it.
There's only one player on the other side of that deal that I really want.
Right,
and that's
I really
Ramondre.
want Ramondre. I really don't want Pittman. I really don't want Taysom.
Pittman is a name brand at this point, man. He's not giving you production.
Well, he might, but might. Big word here.
And LBR, DJ Moore for Curtis Samuel and Devonta Smith. I mean, yeah, I'm not really an advocate for trading away DJ Moore right now, but yes, if you can do that, do that.
That's decent. Samuel, again, he's been rock solid. I think about 20 combined half PPR points the past 2 weeks. He's getting involved in the backfield, right? Nine carries the past 2 weeks combined. I think four last week, 5 the week before, something like that. So he's getting his Swiss Army knife usage. And he's cleared 50 yards receiving the past 2 weeks. So the move to Taylor Heineke hasn't hurt him. Devonta Smith feels like a decent buy low right now, attached to a much better offense than DJ. Devonta Smith of these three is in the best offense by far.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm okay with that.
I'm cool with that trade.
Especially if you're like, I could use an extra body at wide receiver, then yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. DJ Moore is coming on pretty strong recently, but I think you're getting some pretty good value.
Yep. You're selling high and buying low, so I like that deal.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Lincoln, as far as sending Alec Pierce in a 2023 mid-second for Devontae Adams, it really depends where the person is at. There are probably leagues where this would get it done if the person has Devontae Adams and nothing else on their team and they're looking to rebuild. Or you know, something like that. And, you know, and then they're like, okay, I'll take the young wide receiver and Alec Pierce in the 23 second. Mm-hmm. But outside of that, if they're at all contending, it's going to take more to get Devontae Adams on your squad. And I'd be surprised if somebody took this outright. You might need to add on like another second in a future year.
Yeah.
Kyle
I wouldn't
Nagel.
accept that. If I had Devontae Adams and I was in a rebuild, I don't think I would accept that.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I'd want more, which is why I'm saying maybe just offer another second in 2024 and see if that gets you any closer.
I would, and I would say give me a first and you have a deal.
Yeah, but try 2 seconds first with Alec Pierce, because maybe the person's a real big fan of Alec Pierce and is overblowing the 2023 class, and you know, maybe you can get it done.
But I would ask, personally, I wouldn't accept that. But obviously, this is
me neither. But we'll see.
Yeah.
See what happens. Throw it out there.
Yep.
Kyle Nagel, you traded Mike Williams, Algier, and Mariota for Debo, Brian Robinson Jr., Dub, or L.
You traded Thielen for Jamal Williams. That's fine. Getting some running back depth. Yeah, I mean, at least Debo's healthy right now, and Algier's going to cede work to Cordero Patterson now that he's back. I don't love Brian Robinson, but yeah, I think this is fine.
I'd rather have the Mariota side just because you have a quarterback. Now, if you don't need the quarterback and you're not in a 2 QB or anything like that, then you're okay making that move. But Mike Williams will be back sooner than later. Algier and Brian Robinson are basically the same player. So it's, do you need Debo points right now? And you're okay trading away a quarterback to do so or not? But it's a pretty fair trade. I'm not going to say win or loss. It depends on your situation.
Mm-hmm.
But trading Thielen for Jamal Williams, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Who do you start at flex, Lazard or Williams? Williams.
Lazard is questionable coming into the game. He's a game-time call. I'll take the dude who at home is scoring touchdowns and is the goal line guy. Yeah, I'll play Williams. Plus, you just traded for him, so fire him up.
And Boyd and Waller for CD, Amon-Ra, and Mike Gesicki. Yes, JP.
If I'm getting one of CD or Amon-Ra plus Gesicki for Boyd and a broken tight end, then
Do it.
Yes.
Do it. Either of them. Whichever one you like more.
If you're acquiring Boyd and Waller, then no. If you're getting the one of CD or Amon-Ra, I think I prefer CD personally. But if you can get CD and Gesicki for that, yes. If you're getting Boyd and Waller,
I prefer CD too, but it's close, and either of them. And
either one would be fine.
Be worth it for me.
The Boyd and Waller side is the L here.
Joe, I'm still holding Gus Edwards if I can, if I have an IR spot or something. Definitely still holding Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson over Gus Edwards for me right now. Stash OBJ, Kyron Williams. Williams over OBJ, but not. Yeah, I'd rather have the other two.
Not in place of Edwards and Robinson. I'd rather have Edwards and Robinson than either of those two other guys.
And I'd rather just keep everybody that is on your roster than
OBJ or Kyron. Joe, I would stay with where you're at.
Yep. King Marcelo, PPR tight end. Start Conklin or Foster Moreau. Foster Moreau's getting another full complement of
What's the deal
work
with
this
Waller?
week. I don't know, man. He's not healthy.
Yeah. Did Moreau? I don't think Moreau did anything last week.
No, he didn't.
Actually, he did okay. 6 catches, 31 yards. Well, you need full PPR for that to be anything.
Conklin, safe play. Conklin, and showed upside last week.
I guess.
It's Conklin.
I mean, if Waller's in, I think I begrudgingly play Conklin or play Waller over Conklin. He went ballistic last week, 6 for 79.
But it's Conklin or Moreau.
Well,
it's not Waller. He doesn't have Waller.
Yeah, I guess Conklin. I guess Conklin.
Zay Jones or Drake London?
Oof.
Neither. Who else is on the wire, dude? I got
Yeah. Who else is out
It's
there?
Drake London, but you're hoping for a low-end RB2 or wide receiver 2 week. But I think the answer is Drake London.
What's Marvin Jones' status just for the... No, he's not even on the injury report. I guess, yeah, London, but I don't want to play either one. But I guess London.
And Zachary Hugh got offered a trade. Swift, Jamal, Khalil Herbert for Cup.
Remind me your running... Who are the running backs you got? Who are your other backs? I'm trying to find them.
Yeah, me too. Flip Likely and Dion for CD.
You don't have Deion Jackson anymore. Yeah, who are your other running backs?
Throw your running backs in the chat.
But I'm tempted to say yes to that.
Because Cup is gonna continue to just have monster weeks.
Friggin' Cup, yeah.
And Lucius, you can drop Evan Ingram and start Likely.
I mean, if you don't have to make a drop, then don't. But yeah, I'll play Likely.
I mean, I would rather have a couple of backup running backs than Evan Ingram. If I have Andrews and Likely, I don't want to have 3 tight ends on my team just kind of by principle. So start Likely. You can drop Evan Ingram if there's a running back available on your wire. And we're 15 minutes to 8 o'clock. Do you need to?
We're at the end of the chat. We can finish this off, but then I do gotta go.
Kyle Nagel, you have Josh Allen, 1 QB. Swift is out. Yeah, I'd still Josh Allen QB1. So you don't need Mariota. So okay.
Oh yeah, no, then I'm good.
Then better.
Then I'm good with it. Yep. I like the Debo acquisition. Brian Robinson is a throw-in.
Yep. And Likely, Wait, Henry, Saquon, Swift, Jamal, Hilliard, Madison, Khalil, Herbert.
Yeah,
you can
Henry,
do that
Saquon.
trade then, dude.
So you have Henry and Saquon.
You can do that trade. Upgrade, get Cup.
Sure. You might need a backup running back somewhere, but
scour the wire.
Yeah, scour the wire.
Make another deal. Wheel and deal, man.
Yeah.
Kyle Grove, full PPR. Would you trade away Josh Allen and Melvin Gordon for Geno Smith, ETN, and Elijah Mitchell? No, if you have CMC and Josh Allen, I like ETN, but like you have two of the top performers week in, week out. I think I want to keep that together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zeke Keller, I'm starting Dylan with Cordell Patterson coming back. Fade
Actually,
Algier.
Kane, I'm rethinking. Khalif Raymond might be a fine spot start tomorrow over London and Zay. Again, Reynolds is doubtful, right?
Yes.
What is Reynolds? Like, he's going to be the other guy. Yeah. I think I might say Khalif Raymond over London and Zay Jones. And drop Zay Jones for Khalif Raymond. Yeah. Reynolds is doubtful. Hawkinson's gone. Swift is on the injury report. Yeah. Kane Mars, I would pick up Khalif Raymond and drop Zay Jones, and I would spot start Khalif Raymond.
Yeah, and Zeke Keller, I would go Dylan over Algier. But I would agree with that.
Yeah, with I don't feel good about Dylan, but I guess Algier's,
out of those options, yeah. What
Algier's value is about to be submarined with Patterson back.
Yeah. Randy, Likely, Conklin, or Waller. I mean, if I think the answer is
I mean, if Waller's active, I think you have to.
You got to play Waller.
I think you have to hold your nose and play Waller. But if he's ruled
then
out,
Likely, man, I'm willing to say, hey, just go Likely.
Take a shot on Likely.
Yeah, slightly higher upside than Conklin, probably similar floor. Bobby Brook, D Jackson, or Donta Foreman, full PPR. We haven't gotten this question yet. Interesting. I think I'm going Donta Foreman. New England is a tough defense to play against running backs, or for opposing running backs. So I think I'm going Donta Foreman. But it's close.
It's really close.
But Donta against Cincy, I think, is an easier matchup. It's very close, though.
I guess you feel a little better about the Panthers' offense. Yeah. What a weird comment. What a
Kyle
weird
Nagel, again, is Swift out this weekend, confirmed. No, but it's pretty close. And if he's on a pitch count.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to play or not, but I think he's going to play, but I don't know if he's going to play. He better play. I have no other options in one league.
Bronson, AO, what's happening? Trade Sutton and Lazard for Debo? Yes. Do it. Yeah. Do it right now, bro. Do it right now. Don't look back.
Oh, I just realized Deion Jackson is available in this spot where I have DeAndre. I just dropped James Robinson for him. See you later.
Skirt. And you got Jamal and Swift starting King. Hey, believe in it. Believe in it.
Right.
Hopefully they can give you a week like
they would have been fine for that last week.
Yeah, like Breece Hall and Michael Carter gave you when Michael Carter got 2 touchdowns and Breece Hall got like 8 receptions.
Yep.
Hopefully it's something like that. And then Bronson, which of these tight ends do I trade? It's a 2 tight end league. You have Higbee, Waller, Pitts, and Gesicki.
Waller if you can.
Waller if you can. Higbee if you can because he's falling off. But you might still be able to
sell high.
Yeah, but Higbee's had good weeks to where you might still be able to point to him being high on the, full season pecking order for tight end points. Honestly, whatever you can get, sell whichever ones you can.
Yeah, whoever. I mean, Gesicki has fired in 2+ matchups this year, and he's been kind of quiet otherwise. And he's got a lot of bad matchups by the numbers rest of season until championship week against New England. Which in the first matchup, week 1, he caught 1 ball for 1 yard against New England. So Gesicki would be the guy that I would be selling high right now, especially coming off of a 13-point half PPR week, 3 for 38.
But honestly, I'm putting them all on the block.
Sure.
Just to see
Put 'em
what I
all
can
on the
stir
block.
up.
Yeah. I would hope to hold Pitts just, on the hope of that East.
The upside. Yeah.
Yeah. But Gesicki would be the guy I'm selling high on here. He has a bunch of bad matchups by the numbers coming up. And this is an offense where Mike McDaniel says each week, just force feed the ball to Tyreek and Jalen Waddle.
Yeah. But yeah, we are at the end of the chat here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today. Again, we have a live stream tomorrow at 10 a.m. EST.
10 a.m. Eastern.
And we'll go for another 2 hours, 3 hours, depending on your questions and the amount of comments we get and stuff. But we'll be here again bright and early tomorrow. Thanks for joining us today. Thank you for the super, Patrick.
Yeah.
Thank you for any subscribers that's subscribed.
Got a couple.
And I mean, we'll see you tomorrow for another Football Sunday.
Yep. Third link in the description of this video is the Discord evergreen invite. And if you do like what you see from this channel, if you're not a member and might be interested, we have options, that you can kind of look into. First link in the description of this video, if you're interested. But otherwise, yeah, like John said, we will see you guys at 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow,
Yes,
right ahead
sir.
of the Week 9 slate.